Hello and welcome back to part 3 of me redrawing my friends' least favorite League of Legends skins. Last week we ended on the question of should I draw Gragas or should I draw Vi for today's video. And I mean, you can probably tell from the title or thumbnail that I decided that we are redrawing Space Groove Gragas because, well, I actually have a lot of ideas for redrawing Debonair Vi, but Space Groove Gragas has been on my redraw list for like 3 weeks and I actually felt like I had enough energy to invest into redrawing something that was intimidating me this time. So let's get on this struggle bus together now, shall we? After 3 weeks of racking my brain for what to do for Space Groove Gragas, I came up with 2 ideas. One had a more traditional, fun, cute, retro spacesuit vibe, and the other had a more cyberpunk space mafia vibe. Both of these ideas would have opportunities for lots of really bright colors and fun lighting situations, but I couldn't decide for the life of me which one I liked better between the thumbnails, so I decided to sleep on it, and when I woke up in the morning, I still couldn't decide, so I just said, well, why not both? I decided to start with the spacesuit one. In this one, the way that I wanted to model the character, it would show off more of the outfit. I felt the colors and details would suit the Space Groove theme better. And now, before anyone starts fighting me in the comments, from what I gather from the general public, the feelings toward the Space Groove Gragas skin are not nearly as strong as the ones for Rusty Blitzcrank or Commando Lux. This is a relatively recent skin, and some people like it, some people don't, like most skins. I also hear that the animations that come with this character cosmetic is really cute. So, why would I put myself in even more danger of angry League of Legends players by redrawing a skin that people feel generally okay about? It's because this one was specifically requested by my husband, so if you're gonna yell at me, at least drag us together. No, but in general, I understand why it's not the most hated Gragas skin. However, I also do understand why it might not be a favorite. While I love the colors and I thoroughly adore this little slime guy that they put inside of the barrel that Gragas sort of bowls towards his opponents as part of his attack, I do think that this skin doesn't really look like Gragas. And while I also understand the hard lean towards groove in the Space Groove, if you take out all these slime aspects of this outfit, it's kind of just giving disco uncle, and I think it really lacks the hard sell for Atom Punk, Jetsons, retro space that the other skins in the Space Groove lineup really have. Now, the tough thing about Atom Punk as an art style is that it's very much based around retro pinup art, and all you really need to know about Atom Punk is that the women look like this and the men look like this. And unfortunately, nobody looks like Gragas. And so I said, screw it. I'm going to take all the cute magical space girl Atom Punk cliches and tropes and make it Gragas. And also, I apparently told myself I'm not going to pause the screen recording while I take a bathroom break. Anyways, I start out with a massive dome, all glass helmet, and then create these 3 little holes in the front for the ends of his beard braids to stick out of. This specifically was based around the drawings of girls that they have their pigtails sticking out of the astronaut helmet, and this is not something I will be taking any constructive criticism on whatsoever because I love it. It is the best decision I have made in this entire drawing, with the second best decision being the one where I decide to keep the little slime guy in the barrel because I think he's perfect. I do add these little electric blue bolts on the stomach of the suit and these U-shapes on his arms because they do reflect the details that are on Gragas' default skin, and you know what? I just think they're neat. Although I do think that the orange and blue plus the lightning shape looks very glam rock Freddy, which, since the goal is to have this music dance party theme, it's technically not a bad design decision. But if you guys had a nickel for every time I referenced Five Nights at Freddy's in a League of Legends video, you would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Besides just the lightning bolt accents on the suit, there are a couple more nods towards the original character design that I put in just for fun. There's a big purple-pink symbol on the top of the glass helmet that reflects the symbol that Gragas has on his own head, and I incorporated the big bell sleeve shape but in a more astronaut suit way, as well as moving the eye shape that was on his disco ball belt onto the bracer situation. In hindsight, I did mean to add a disco ball motif somewhere in the outfit, but I guess I just forgot. I don't think he's at a loss without a disco ball belly button belt, but a disco ball somewhere in the design might might have helped push the groove part of the space groove theming. I will say that I am a little torn on the overwhelming amount of orange in this drawing. Don't get me wrong, I think it is the best option that I had tried out. If you rewind back to the start of the speed draw, I had done a couple of palette tests before committing to the full orange suit, but I do think the balance might still be a little off. Maybe I should have made the slime bear barrel a different color than the orangey red, but you know what, to be perfectly honest, the real issue probably just goes back to me not pushing my values enough. I said it in the last video, I have a lot of trouble committing to very dark, high contrast shading, and you can see that in this drawing I pretty much never use the color black. It's always a dark red or a dark purple. That all being said, I guess the drawing was supposed to be loud and colorful, and it sure did, dude. I didn't check how long each drawing took on its own, but between this drawing and the next drawing, I spent a combined time of 4 hours and 48 minutes recording, give or take a few of those minutes for when I took that bathroom break and totally forgot to stop recording my drawing screen. As you all know, this does not include the time spent looking for references and things like that, and both of these drawings were done on the same day. Still not in one sitting, but very close to being that. To say it was a bit of an art-heavy day for me is somewhat of an understatement, and I could not possibly tell you how I managed to focus for that long and pull this off. It must have been the bright shiny colors or something. I often do look back at the time I spent screen recording when I finish a drawing, and I wonder how I could possibly manage to spend so long on a digital art drawing like it's nothing, but then when it comes to actual physical projects, I have so much creative dread about how long it might take. I guess it's just like a comfort and familiarity thing, but when I finally feel pretty happy with the character design, I start working in a simple background, getting those goopy space slime elements that are in all of the Space Groove splash arts. I also do quite a bit of color adjusting to get rid of the orange in the background because there's just a lot of orange in here. Also, for the first time in what feels like a very long time, I actually get to use a digital brush that makes little sparkles everywhere. When it's 1 or 2 sparkles, I generally prefer to draw it by hand so I can get the exact size and placement and shape that I want, but in this case there are a lot of little reflections and stars all over the place, so I just use the brush. And last but not least, filter layers, including our very important friend Color Dodge, who is the reason why we can achieve such a nice glow on all of our drawings. And instead of cutting the video for a final result like I normally do, I decided to shake things up and jump straight into drawing number 2, mostly because this was the much shorter of the two to work on, and I consider this more of a bonus drawing than a second drawing. Don't misunderstand me, I really love how this drawing turned out. I think the colors are fantastic. However, it doesn't really fit the Space Groove theme. It leaned a little too heavy on the cyberpunk instead of atom punk side of things. In fact, so much that I debated on whether or not I should include it in the speed draw as part of the video at all, but I figured, you know what, we're here, I have it, why not get a little joy from it? Plus, I think Gragas is treated a little bit as a joke character. I mean, his whole concept is that he's a raging, drinking barbarian that throws barrels of wine, so fair enough, but I think Gragas needs more cool skins. I just like his character design. I feel like we can give him more outfits than just guy that's wasted on a holiday or Nordic barbarian, or I guess weird disco uncle is apparently a skin you can get. I must give credit for pretty much this entire design to Cyberpunk Pets on Instagram, who made this incredible illustration along with many other amazing designs of cyberpunk animals. I really just based my whole drawing off of this sick looking cat. Also, a pro strat for when you don't want to draw hands is keep zooming in the image until you crop out the hands and pockets so you don't have to worry about the weird anatomy and pose that you have made yourself work with. Look, I had one goal, and it was to draw Gragas with a big coat and a reflective collar and round orange glasses. That is all that I cared about in this drawing. So there are a couple of different designs that I use on the back of the jacket, and I end up using a design called the Valknut or Valnut. I've heard it both ways. Basically, it's just a knotted series of 3 triangles. It's a very popular design element found in tattoos and clothing relating to Viking heritage and religions. However, as far as historical meaning and significance, there isn't really a solid answer that people have come to a consensus on. There are speculations about Odin and the afterlife, but nothing really that we have found to be definitive. Obviously, I found this out through research. Unfortunately, I have to admit it was after the drawing because I did find out this symbol symbol was also once used as a hate speech symbol. However, I did decide to go forward and publish the design anyways because this symbol has been removed from many official lists that consider it to be a symbol of hate today, and it is so much more commonly recognized as a Nordic religious and historic symbol, which I think is great. It's awesome that the symbol has been able to be, I guess, reclaimed. And basically, this is all just to say I'm not trying to do some weird subliminal messaging. We promote kindness and love on this channel, and all are welcome. Which was very much a roller coaster to end on, and I apologize for that. If anything, this is a friendly reminder to self and y'all that cool symbols and knotwork often have stronger implications. Do your research before integrating a design, even if you think it's safe after seeing it everywhere on the internet. Same goes for fantasy character names. Make sure those aren't bad words in other languages, because that can be a slippery slope. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Here's my new Space Groove Gragas with bonus Space Mafia Gragas. I actually am very proud of both of these drawings, in how much time they took, in how much detail I ended up with. I love the way the colors look in the cyberpunk drawing. This is obviously not my usual route of character design, but I feel like working on Gragas specifically pushed my art abilities in a direction that I really like. So we can be proud of ourselves today as a treat. Speaking of being proud, we did hit 700 subscribers last week, and I didn't get a chance to write it into the script before last week's video got uploaded, but I just want to say it did not at all go unnoticed. Thank you so much for the support and follows. I'm not going to do a milestone video until I hit 1,000, but I'm still extremely happy. It truly makes my day, and it makes these long projects feel just a little bit more worthwhile. So in closing, tune in next week where I will finish up this mini-series with a redraw of Debonair Vi, and then we can return to our regular scheduled D&D programming to reconfuse the YouTube algorithm as to knowing where it should recommend my videos. Although, you know, it might not be possible at all for the YouTube algorithm to keep up with me, but who knows? Not me.